Usable frequency, that's what a lot of people are really interested in, is at 31.4 megahertz. That's the
Fucking peaches.
If you were to operate at that frequency, why you could transmit a signal off to the first top at approximately 3,000 kilometers or roughly 1,800 miles. I'd like to look to get an idea of what maybe NVIS conditions might be like on 40 meters, 75 meters. And since the critical frequency is at 10.175, that means NVIS, real NVIS, is possible at those frequencies. I see the first well-defined echo on 40 meters, and very faintly a second one. So probably not too bad at the moment, but that could change real quick as the sun's coming up. Same thing on 75 meters. Again, I see a real well-defined first echo and a very faintly defined second echo. So again, NVIS on 75 and 40 right now, not too bad. Real NVIS, real regional type of propagation. Again, as the sun comes up and the D layer begins to build, that D layer will start to absorb a lot of RF energy, and those signals will begin to attenuate, especially on 75 meters. I can tell you where the ionosphere is the most dense right now. It is just about, roughly 280 kilometers, 280,000 meters is where the F1 and F2 layer, actually they're separate right now during the day. Looking at the highest one, it's about 280,000 kilometers. That's interesting because the higher that goes, the skip distance can be quite a bit longer. Makes sense? WBREI, this is North Central Ohio Information Traffic Net. Any other stations that would like to check in with or without traffic? Anybody that would like a signal report, call out. CP, Kilo 8 Victor Charlie Papa, Mike, Fremont, listen traffic. Hi, Mike in Fremont. You got a good signal, Mike. I kind of messed up your call. I got Kilo 8 Victor Papa something, but I think I got that all messed up. Give me your call again, and I think you've got traffic. 8 Victor Charlie Papa, K8BCP, and my traffic is an announcement. All right, Kilo 8 Victor Charlie Papa. Well, good morning, Mike. Good signal from Fremont. You have a little problem. It's no big deal, but a lot of people have that where your radio has got a setting where it's spitting out a deep little, like a busy tone, like you hear on the telephone. It's actually DTMF digits. Well, when you get a chance, you could look at it. It's right at the beginning of your transmission, but it's not causing any problem. We're understanding you just fine. Okay, so you have an announcement. I'm going to list your announcement. I have it listed. Stand by a second, Mike, and we'll go with your announcement, okay? Stand by just a minute. Anybody else with or without traffic for the North Central Ohio Information and Traffic that call out? Okay, sounds very quiet. Let's go, Mike. K8 Victor Charlie Papa in Fremont. Go ahead with your announcement. My announcement is that we're having a license test, okay, on Saturday the 25th, okay, starts at 8:30, okay, so for paperwork, and then actually we start the test at 9 o'clock, okay, and so we are in the building, okay, Chamber of Commerce, okay, on Napoleon, at 1245 Napoleon. Now, anyone is interested, okay, in upgrading your license, or a new license, okay, we tend to get lots of walk-ins when we do this, and it's at 1245 Napoleon Street. And if you go to w8nck.org, okay, all of this information is there, w8nck.org. And I thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that, and I just want to make that little announcement. Thank you. KBCP, Cliff. All right, Mike. Well, thanks for bringing the information. We appreciate it. There may be some folks listening here that big call now. Okay, sounds pretty quiet. All right, took a look at the tropospheric ducting map this morning. Nothing happening for us in Ohio over the next 6 or 7 days. Although that can change. It is literally tropospheric ducting on those RV frequencies. It follows the weather patterns. It's like a weather forecast, really. It's really quite interesting. I see later in the week, kind of a very tip of southern Ohio down into Kentucky and that. They kind of bump up there to fair to moderate conditions. But throughout Ohio, not too much happening. Over Lake Erie, always a little bit. You know, the lake itself, marginal to fair. But other than that, not much happening from tropospheric ducting. Again, if you've worked some DX on 2-meter simplex and you feel as though that was tropospheric ducting, that's the way that your signal was propagated, or you're wondering whether it was, let us know, because I'd like to go back and check, you know. But if you do that, let us know where they were located at, what the day and the time was, and then we can kind of backtrack and see how things match up. Just kind of an interesting thing, and you can learn that way. All right. Let's check out the current status of the International Space Station. Our crossband repeater is still up and running in the Columbus module. Again, that's 145.99 transmit. That's your transmit, by the way, if you want to work through the crossband repeater. PL tone at 67 hertz. And you listen on 437.800. While we're talking about that here, and I've done this before, but maybe I'll do it again here this morning. A nice thing to do, Dan's not on with us here yet this morning. Hopefully he'll make it in here. And he always does a forecast for us, a weather forecast. And then he usually gives us the various passes of the International Space Station and the Chinese Space Station. He gets good ones. He takes the time and he picks out the good ones. But what's neat is not only is it cool to look for it and visually put your eyes on it and see it, if you got your HT with you, you can listen to the crossband FM repeat traffic as it's going. It's kind of a neat thing to do, and it's really simple. And while you're at it, if you want to try to make a contact to the crossband FM repeater. Now, one of the things I wanted to mention here is you will experience a Doppler effect. It's such an interesting thing. Even though the transmitter up on the International Space Station is sitting on 437.8 megahertz, that's what it's transmitting on. As you down here on Earth, as the space station's approaching you, coming toward you, you are experiencing Doppler shift. And then once it's overhead, it's sitting, your radio sees it right at 437.800, and then as it starts to move away from you at a high speed, your radio starts to experience Doppler shift again, and the frequency that you're hearing actually begins to lower. So if you got a paper and pencil handy, I'll give you the 5 frequencies. It's a sequence of frequencies that you can program into your HT. And once you got it ready to go, whenever there's a pass, you happen to be around, turn your HT on and listen to the crossband FM repeat traffic. It's pretty neat. Once you get comfortable with listening to the traffic and how a conversation, they go quick too, by the way, real frequency. So on your radio on 437-800, it's getting staticky again. So now you want to drop down to the next program channel. You're going to drop down 5 kilohertz. So now you want to have a channel programmed at 437.795. 5 kilohertz lower now. Really cool, man. When you do that, it'll clear right up. And then as it gets even further from you, as it begins to become staticky again, drop down another 5 kilohertz. So now your last channel, you want to program on 437.790. So now, program those 5 channels in your radio anytime a ISS space station pass goes overhead. Have your little HT with you. And if not, you don't have to talk on it if you don't want, but listen. Take a listen to the traffic, and you'll kind of learn how a quick exchange takes place through the satellite, the International Space Station. I'm going to run down those 5 frequencies again in order. These are the order you want to put them in your radio, and this is the order that you'll select the frequencies as it comes close to you. As it gets noisy, click up to the next one. It'll clear up. As it gets noisy, click to the next one. It'll clear up. Then it'll get noisy, and so on and so forth. So here they are in succession. 437.810. That should be channel A. 437.805. That should be channel B. 437.800. That's channel C. That's the stated frequency. That's what's right overhead. The next one, 437.795. The last program channel would be 437.790. You get comfortable with that. If you want, program it to transmit. And so it's a crossband split. So you transmit, and you never change your transmit. You always transmit at 145.990. And you have to encode a PL tone of 67 hertz. So if you want to take it a step further, where you might want to try and work with somebody to the ISS, then you want to make sure you have your transmit on all 5 of those channels. Should always be 145.99 on all 5 channels. But your receive is going to be different because you want to compensate for the Doppler shift. Anybody got any questions on that? Or want anything repeated, or do you have any questions about that? Call now. Hi, Dan, KCA-PVU. Good morning, Dan. I got your check in. Your signal's good, but it is scratchy, and I think that's due to the wind out there. The antennas are flexing all over the place. Everybody's a little scratchy this morning. So I have you down, Dan. We'll be going to you and Bob here in just a few minutes. Is this a good time, or are you waiting to get to a different location? Actually, I'm right just forward, marching through my hands full of gear. I'll be in there and rushing 5 minutes. Okay, 5 business, Dan. Oh, that'll be perfect timing. Take your time. I got a few things to go over here yet, and then we'll holler at you there. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate that. Good to hear you this morning. Okay, real quick run through on the ISS here. When you do look on your software and you determine when there will be a pass, or you follow what Dan gives us every Wednesday morning here, and you follow that schedule, there are times when it may be turned off. The radios might be turned off, and you're scratching your head wondering why you can't hear it. And at a pretty low-profile station on ATRS packet, and you have the luxury of using the International Space Station as it passes overhead to provide you with a satellite uplink. We'll call it a satellite because your signal's going to go up, and it's going to come back down in a big footprint all over the eastern part of the United States. So that's pretty cool. So if you haven't tried packet ATRS via the International Space Station yet, try it sometime. Again, your radio is going to be on 145.825, transmit and receive. REI for identification. This is the North Central Ohio Information and Traffic Net. Looking at school contacts. There are no upcoming school contacts that would be in the footprint in our area that you can hear directly on your radio. However, we keep a pretty close eye on that. When some do come up, why we'll be sure to let you guys know here on the repeater. But as of right now, no upcoming school contacts. Okay, now let's see here. We're going to go to let's go to Bob first here, and then we'll go to Dan. That would give Dan a minute to kind of get his act together there and get things all ready. So before we do go to those guys, are there any other stations that would like to check in with or without traffic call now? Okay, sounds pretty quiet. Bob, if you don't mind, let's go with you first. WAAJBT. Bob usually gives us updates on special event stations that are coming up, and then test sessions or handfest. Bob, the mic's yours.
Okay, thank you, Jeff, and good morning to everybody on the net. Yeah, actually, I do have a handfest this weekend. Not in Ohio, but it's fairly close to northwest Ohio. The Livonia Amateur Radio Club in the Detroit area is having their handfest on Saturday. They're located in the Monahan Banquet Center, and it's 19801 Farmington Road in Livonia, Michigan. It's not too far off of I-275 on the west side of Detroit. I went to it last year. It probably won't go this year. It's kind of small, but it for years had been the same day as the Mansfield Hamfest, so hadn't made it there for a long time. But it is a small Hamfest, but a nice little Hamfest. If anybody's just can't wait for Toledo, which is on the schedule for next month. As far as special event stations, there's several still going on. They'll be going on for the whole year. New one added to that list is Plano Amateur Radio Club is celebrating their 50th anniversary, and they'll be running special event for the entire year from Plano, Texas. And their call sign is K5PRK/50, and they'll be using that call on various locations. Another one from Poland is the 550th anniversary of the birth of Nicholas Copernicus, and that'll be operating from February 17th to March 5th, and they'll be using the call sign SN550 and various suffixes from their stations they'll be activating, and they'll be using all bands, all modes, and we'll have certificates and QSL cards for anybody that makes a contact. Another one starting this weekend is the H.L. Hunley Commemoration and Special Event Station, and that's from Sullivan Island, South Carolina, and it's commemorating the first marking anniversary of the sinking of the USS Houstonic, I believe is the name, by the submarine H.L. Hunley in Charleston, South Carolina. And this was the first sinking of a warship by a submarine. And I believe if I read their information, the submarine itself was also lost with all hands after that. Minnesota, and Lake Portable. And, they'll be operating on 15, 20, and 40 and 80 meters. The information says W0JH will operate portable from a frozen lake in Washington County, Minnesota, Grid Square EN34, in a meager attempt to drive away the remainder of the Minnesota winter. The Stillwater Amateur Radio Association will be generating as much RF as possible over the President's Day long weekend, and they ask everybody to please help them. A couple of others listed, one called Thinking Day on the Air. Not sure exactly what that's about, but that's operating from Lancaster, South Carolina, call sign N4E, and operating on 20 meters, 40, and 2 meters for local contact. Also, a worldwide Antarctic program have a special event starting February 19th, running through the 26th, and their call is K4C, and they're operating from McDonough, Georgia. Worldwide Antarctic program operating on 20 meters, 15 meters, and 10 meters, and looks like 40 meters. I think a digital probably FT8 on 40 meters. And one final one, Engineers Week at W0CXX, which is the Cedar Rapids, Iowa, the Collins Amateur Radio Club, and they'll be operating from February 20th to the 24th, and they'll be on 80 meters, 20 meters. They say their main operation will be over the lunch hours from 11 a.m. Central Time to 1 p.m. Central Time to coincide with engineers taking their lunch break. So that would be an interesting one too. But any of the details for any of these special event stations, you can go to arrl.org, click on the air tab, and at the bottom of the page is a link to the special event stations. And a lot of them have their own website, which gives more details. Finally, with test stations, I do have one additional one to add to the previous announcement. There is a test station on Saturday in Chillicothe. That one's at 9 a.m. Walk-ins are allowed. Contact John Hartless, and his number is, repeat, 740-703-0181, and the session starts at 9 a.m., but you should call ahead and check on that. I did want to make a comment on the announcement for the pre-lawn exam. I checked ARRL.org and the hand study site and didn't find it listed either place. So it might be a good idea to contact ARRL, whoever's in charge of it, and they'll be glad to put it on their schedule, and it'll show up there in the future, so that whatever schedule it's operated on, they'll be able to have it on the schedule for people to find, give it a little more publicity. There's also still a lot of online testing that's available from ARRL.org, and again, Roger Weath in Finley, number 419-786-8255, APPS. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, okay. I just wasn't sure if you were still there, Rick. I'm going to go over to Dan here in a second. Dan's listening here. If you don't already know, and you probably do by now, I think he's got some updated information for you there on the Cuyahoga County Skyward repeater. Probably by now, though, you've already been updated, but if not, Dan's got some info for you. Have you got any updated information on it?
Actually, I don't. I know it's back up, but I jotted down his call sign and I lost it, so I didn't get updated. So I'll be interested.
Okay, fine business, Rick. All right, I'm going to go over to Dan here, and he can give you the details here. All right, KCTVU. Dan, if you are ready, I'm going to turn the microphone over to you.
Okay, very good. I'll go over that question on that Cuyahoga County repeater first here. They were aware that it was down. That repeater is owned by 88G is his call sign, and they were working on it. But one of the things that I wanted to cover here for sure is their backup frequency, and you may be aware of that already. 146.860, 146.860 is what they use for backup. But it's good to hear that they're back up and running, and things are okay. Did you have any other questions on that subject?
No, I appreciate it. That answered my question. Yeah, I just jotted down that frequency and I won't lose it. So thank you. NAPPS.
Okay, very good. Glad I was able to help on that one. Okay, here's I'll start off with the weather. We'll move right into a lot of northern Ohio is under a wind advisory until 4 p.m. this afternoon, and if you've been outside at all, at least here in Seneca County, it is really windy. Really windy. They're saying 25 to 30 mile an hour sustained southwest winds, gusts up around 50. So that's quite a bit. And of course, they put the normal cautions there. Gusty winds could blow around unsecured objects, trees, limbs, could have some down power lines and outages and things like that. Use extreme caution when driving, especially operating high-profile vehicles. Secure outdoor objects. So that's what we're under for a wind advisory that expires at 4 p.m. this afternoon. But it's going to have to hurry and get done, or they're going to have to extend that a little bit. Getting into the hazardous weather outlook just a little bit tomorrow. Much of northern Ohio is in a slight risk for severe, and just to our south here in Seneca County where I'm at, an enhanced risk is making a big swath right through Ohio. So this could be one of those days where you may want to try to catch the weather here at noon or 6 o'clock or 11 o'clock, see what's going on. So it looks as though that things could be ripe for a chance of severe weather tomorrow. Actually, I think it's later tomorrow afternoon or evening, but check with your local forecast and stuff and keep your heads up for anything the National Weather Service may come out. Okay, on to the forecast. Today, sunny, high near 69. We already covered the winds. Tonight, increasing cloudy, low near 38. Thursday, showers and thunderstorms possible after 4, high near 52. Chance precipitation 80%. Thursday night, showers and thunderstorms before 10, then showers likely. Low around 25. Friday, mostly cloudy, high near 30. Friday night, mostly clear, low around 22. Saturday, sunny, high near 44. Breezy. Saturday night, partly cloudy, low around 32. Sunday, mostly sunny, high near 50 and breezy. Okay, there we go. On to the space stations. I've got 3 passes that look promising. Of course, this is all contingent on the weather, too. and I tried to get the ones that were going to look good on out. So we'll start out with pass number 1 is the tie-in gong. Saturday, February 18th. Saturday, February 18th appears at 6:12 a.m. Goes out at 6:17 a.m. Enters from the west, exits out the east. It's got a magnitude of 1.1, and that would be a positive magnitude, a little bit different than the ISS would be. And it's got an elevation of 78 degrees, so that's right up there. Okay, on to pass number 2. And that is the ISS, same day, Saturday, February 18th. Enters at 6:37, exits at 6:43. Enters from the southwest, enters out, or exits out the northeast. And here we go with the magnitudes. This is a negative 3.7. That should be rather bright. And maximum elevation, you can't hardly get any higher except 1 degree. 89 degrees maximum elevation. How about that? Okay, and the third and final pass I've got is another one for the ISS. Monday, February 20th. Enters at 6:37, exits at 6:43. Enters from the west, exits out the northeast. Got a magnitude of a negative 3.6 with a maximum elevation of 36 degrees. So, hope everybody that's interested has time to get out there and see those early in the morning, and we'll do it again next week. Thanks, Chef. KCPBU.
Hey, Dan. Thank you for the update on the, excuse me, the Cuyahoga County Skyward repeater. Appreciate that. And thanks for the update on these nice passes. Again, you know, we talked earlier here about programming in some frequencies to compensate for Doppler shift, so that when you watch the ISS overhead, well, you can listen on your radio. You can listen to the crossband FM repeat train. Quick question, Dan, on the 2 ISS passes. I'm going to assume they're AM, but I wasn't sure if you said AM or PM.
Oh, sorry about that, Jeff. Yeah, everything today was AM. Everything is AM.
Got it. Thank you, Dan. And it looks like some really nice ones, especially not only to see, but to listen on your HD, just hold it in your hand and listen to all that activity. It's crazy how fast they make those contacts as the ISS passes overhead. All right, thanks, Dan. Anybody got any questions for any of the information Dan just covered? Call now. This is WB8 REI, North Central Ohio Information and Traffic Net. Any other stations that would like to check in with or without traffic? Call now.
Kilo 8, Alpha, Oscar Golf, Jim, Mobile.
KE8W8, Gary Snusky, in and out, no traffic.
All right, we got 2 more here. K8 Alpha, Oscar Golf, Mobile. Good morning, Jim. Nice signal. Good to hear you this morning. Thank you for checking in. And hi, Gary. It's Sandusky. Good signal, Gary. Your audio is always just a little light, and my hearing is not the greatest. I got Kilo Echo 8 Whiskey Alpha, and I always get that wrong, but I always have a little difficulty hearing you. Give me your call sign again.
Okay, you had it right. Kilo Echo 8, Whiskey Alpha.
Okay, yeah, once in a while I get it right. that. Another gentleman's got a Heathkin HD 1234 fine position, by the way. Coax switch will handle 2,000 watts. Peak envelope power is after $20 for that. Jack Hubbard, N-I-A-N Jack at gmail.com. All right. So if any of that piques your interest, and you need more information, go to the Ohio Sections webpage. There you'll find a link to the section swap and shop. And there you can get all the details, get your phone numbers or email addresses, and look at some of the other stuff. They got tons of things up there. I don't have time to go through all of it. So take a look. You might find something you're looking for. And don't forget, if you've got something that you're not only looking for, but something you want to sell or give away, or maybe your club is doing a fundraiser, well, you can post all that up here as well. And the details and all the rules and regulations about that, how to do it, are all listed there at the Ohio Section Swap Shop's website. Before we continue, are there any other stations with or without traffic? Anybody that doesn't like a signal report, call now.
Yeah, good morning, Jeff. I'm the Met. This is November 8 Whiskey Julian Zulu, and in Lake County. No traffic.
Hey, good morning, Dan. November 8 Whiskey Juliet Zoo. Nice signal from Lake County this morning. Thank you for checking in, Dan. Anybody else? All right. I got technical stuff to talk about, some kind of cool stuff, some stuff on some of the big D expeditions that have been going on and are still going on. And I've got some on the area around the Ohio section kind of news. So stay tuned here. So first up here, looking at the Ohio section news here, I see a link to a YouTube video that I thought some of you might be interested. I took a brief look at it. It looks pretty good. What this has to do is silent key estate planning. And our Ohio section manager talks about that quite often because, you run into this, and I've seen it before, a lot of you guys have, where a good friend passes away, a ham radio operator, and there he has all that equipment, and usually the family doesn't know what to do with it, that sort of thing. And so this is a nice video. They go through things that you can do ahead of time to plan for your radio equipment in your estate with regard to your ham radio equipment. So if you're interested, there's a link to the YouTube video. It's up on page 2 of the latest edition of the Ohio Section News. Check it out if that's something that you're wanting some information on. It is a really nice thing to do. Makes things go a lot easier for families. When we pass away, right? We got all this ham equipment sitting around. So check that out. Tom Sly, our Ohio section manager, he posted the link there to that YouTube video. So good information. WBREI for ID. Taking a look at some of the things happening around the very northwest part of Ohio, specifically our friends up around the Toledo area. They got quite a few different items listed here. Events actually that are going on. So I'm going to just cover a couple of them here, so they're pretty good. So we mentioned this one before. I'm going to mention it again. It comes up March 2nd. That's the ICS 100 in-person class for the ICS 100 to be held on March 2nd from 8:30 a.m. through 5 p.m. with a 1-hour lunch break. Now, if you're interested, you need to contact Mike, W-A-M-A-L. His email address is education@lucasaries.org. Now, you need to email Mike to enroll. Also coming up, Skyborn training will be held on March 14th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Now that's at the Maumee branch of Toledo Lucas County Public Library. Good thing to do. Dave was just talking here about possibilities for maybe some upcoming severe weather. And, it's never too early to get some Skywarn training and get involved with your local Skywarn group. So on the lucasaries.org website, Skywarn page, there is a link to follow for registering with the National Weather Service. So again, you guys up around the Toledo area there, March 14th for your Skywarn summer training for us guys right around the northwest part of the state here. So we wanted to mention that here this morning. Also, a reminder, Spring Severe Weather Awareness Week. We're talking about weather here already. That's coming up the week of March 19th through the 25th. Now, the thing you really want to mark on your calendar is that week on Wednesday, March 22nd, is the Ohio statewide tornado drill. And again, that will be Wednesday, March 22nd, and that begins at 9:50 a.m. Now, a lot of the local area guys or local Skywarn folks will be running their own local vets. If you're in Toledo, Speak, Kilo Delta 8, Kilo X-Ray Delta, he's going to run a vet for the drill, and those check-ins will begin at 09:30. But not least, with regard to the Lucas County Aries guys, they're sponsoring a truck sale and swap meet. And this may have already been mentioned, but we'll mention it here again real quick. That'll be on Sunday, May 7th. That's from 0900 to 1330 at the Toledo Speedway, 5639 Lenore Road in Toledo, Ohio. And volunteers to help with the event would be appreciated. For more information, you can go to lucasaries.org. The WBREI, this is the North Central Ohio Information and Traffic Net. Another thing I wanted to mention, and this happens periodically here in the Ohio Section News, Bill, AJ8D, a really nice article every week in the Ohio Section News on DX and HF propagation, that sort of stuff. He put up again some information with regard to solar numbers, and we talk about those at the beginning of this net every Wednesday. Here's talk about A indexes, or A indexes, K indexes, solar flux, all that kind of stuff. And so, again, beginning on page 17 of the Ohio Section News, there's a whole review on solar numbers and what they mean. This is pretty in-depth. And so take a look at it if you like to kind of brush up on what all that stuff's about. Again, the Ohio Section News on page 18 has a really nice article and a nice review, again, on the solar numbers. Check it out.
Man, that wind is whipping out there. Whipping.
On the lighter side, and we'll check for check-ins here again in just a second, but on a little bit of a more humorous side, in the Ohio Section News, I couldn't help but look at this. There's a link to a video, and this is from John Levo. He's been tuning the TV channels the other night when he was bored, and he ran across Chevy Chase in National Lampoon's Vacation. He says in this video clip at about 2:15 in the clip, you note the house next door to the Griswolds. He says he's watched this movie several times over the years, but he never noticed the skyhook before. So if you want to laugh or check that out, again, that link to that YouTube video is on page 30 of the Ohio Section News. I've never seen it. I'll have to check that out. But I thought that was kind of funny. I've seen the movie many times, but I've never noticed the antenna there either. So again, he says it's I guess, I don't know if that means 2 minutes and 15 seconds into the clip. I think it does. Because it's not the whole movie. It's just a clip of it. So again, 2 minutes, 15 seconds into the clip, you should be able to see that. You'll find the link, page 30, Ohio Section News. Again, Skyhook, you'll see it there on the National Lampoon's Vacation movie. Last bit of Ohio Section News before we get into some other technical stuff. Before we do, this is WBAREI, the North Central Ohio Information and Traffic Net. Anybody else who would like a signal report would like to check in, call out. I don't know if somebody was trying to check in. If you're trying to check in, try it again there. We didn't hear any audio, just heard the carrier. Number 8, Delta Golf Whiskey Jack, traveling on the west side of Cleveland. Hi, Jack. Traveling on the west side of Cleveland. You're a little noisy there, Jack, but I got the before and during the meeting and fed us a wonderful lunch after we had concluded our tours of the facilities. Mike, so this is Mike Hayward, who's in here this morning, and hopefully he's listening here. Mike said he felt like he was back in the hospitality suite during the broadcasters' conventions in Las Vegas. Wow. Because we had interest from several of the staff and residents at amateur radio. They have been sent informational materials. We will see what develops. The members of the Ohio Single Sideband Net have sent thank you radiograms to members of the staff, further increasing interest from the staff and residents. Replies are coming back to the Ohio Single Sideband Net members from staff members. And almost done here. He says, during the meeting, the Ohio Single Sideband Net Certificate of Appreciation was awarded to Chief Joyce Judy, KDHB. Anybody that checks into the Ohio Single Sideband Net knows Joyce. For her years of service to the National Traffic System, the Ohio Single Sideband Net. Joyce has been a key member of the net for decades, holding many functions. Again, holding many functions, including net control station, phone liaison to 8th Region Cycle 2, and CW liaison to the 8th Region Cycle 4. Joyce is also a two-time winner of the K8BYR Memorial Merit Award, the Garlock, having won it in 1989 and again in 1997. So, Mike says we may return to the woods for next winter's meeting. And again, that's Mike Hayward, KCWH. He's the Ohio Single Sideband Net manager. Nice photograph of Mike here, and I think that's Joyce Judy. That sounds like they had a wonderful winter meeting there this year. Very good.
Crap, the wind's blowing too hard.
More stuff to go here. Don't go away. Anybody else that would like to check in with a signal report? Call WBREI.
Yeah, turn that antenna.
All right, well, let's continue here. I wanted to mention, quite often in the past here I talked about a shortwave station that I enjoy listening to, and maybe some of you did too, and that was WTWW, and they were on Lebanon, Tennessee. And they were on the air for well over 10 years, and recently, due to, I think, financial situations, they went off the air as WTWW. They still live stream. But what they did do is the wonderful programming by Ted Randall is now on WRMI. It's called WRMI Legends. And those transmitters are located in Okeechobee, Florida. And that's quite a big antenna farm and quite an international shortwave broadcast location. Anyway, WTWW, that programming is now to be heard on shortwave radio on WRMI, and you can hear them on 5050 kilohertz. So I'm giving this frequency because they've been experimenting with a lot of different shortwave frequencies now for about the last 2 or 3 weeks, maybe longer than that now. And I think they finally maybe have settled in on 5050. So 5050 kilohertz, 5050, or another way of saying it right is 5.050 megahertz. Remember, that's AM, International Broadcast Station. And they begin, I think you can start listening in at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on 5050, Monday through Friday. And on the weekends, they might have a different time schedule. But take a listen to some of the great music, best music of all time, the greatest hits of all time, and lots of great DJs. One of the really, really unique and fun things that they do begins at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Great presentations. You'll learn a lot. I picked a couple out here. They got a whole bunch of different presentations listed. This is LEBREI, just identifying here on the North Central Ohio Information and Traffic Net. Well, they have all kinds of presentations listed just to kind of whet your appetites here. I'm going to give you a couple, handful of that I picked it out that I thought I definitely want to put on my list of ones that I want to listen to. I mean, there's tons of them. As I'm talking to you, I'm scrolling down through. The first one is called How to Build an Artificial Intelligence Powered Transcription Bot for FM Transmissions. I want to see that one. Another one, How to Build and Operate a QRP Earth-Moon-Earth radio station. Always wanted to do that. I've been a ham for 50 years and I've never worked Earth-Moon-Earth. And now's the time to take a look into that, especially with all the new technology. In the old days, that was difficult to do, but I think it's a lot simpler equipment-wise. So I definitely want to look at that one.
A lot of static today.
Another really super interesting one I'm dying to hear, microwave rain scatter communications and introduction. That's something new for me. Microwave rain scatter. I definitely got to check that out. That's a new one. Never heard of that. Also, QRP operating on the microwave band. We're talking about frequencies, equipment, and propagation. And probably the last one on my list is called What's New with the Amateur Radio on the International Space Station. And we talk about that all the time, right? Every Wednesday we talk about the radio, ham radio on the International Space Station. So we'll take a look at that one. That might introduce some new things that we're not even aware of. So again, if you haven't registered for the QSO Virtual Ham Expo, definitely do that. Coming up again, March, where's my date at here? Coming up on March, find it here, I'm almost there, 25th and 26th. WBREI just continuing here. Talked a little bit last week. I chance to talk a little bit last week about what was called World Radio Day, which was just this Monday, February 13th. And mentioned the Alexanderson alternator. Hopefully you all got a chance to look at the videos on that wonderful piece of machinery that was built back in 1924. There's no tubes, no transistors, no oscillators, nothing like that. All mechanical. Transmitted a CW message. It was on 17.2 kilohertz. And they did that, and they only do it a couple times a year for this old piece of equipment. And it's amazing. Anyway, I got a chance to tune in. It started at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is past Monday morning. What's interesting and I thought was exciting is being that it was World Radio Day this past Monday from Grindton, Sweden. That's where this Alexanderson alternator is located. They transmitted a message called Radio and Peace. And that was all transmitted in CW. And I don't have a radio that goes down to 17.2 kilohertz. Most of you probably don't either. Even if you did, you'd probably have a lot of difficulty copying that signal from Grindton at about 15 words per minute. So we were able to copy the radio and peace message for World Radio Day. And again, from the Alexanderson alternator, probably won't do that too many times. If you get a chance to listen to it, check it out. You never know something like that, you know, when they'll finally pull the plug on it, maybe it breaks down, you can't repair it anymore, or people just can't or don't want to maintain it anymore. A real golden piece of history. So wanted to share that with you. Nice certificates, by
using this too.
I just continuing here on the Bove Island expedition wrap up. Ken says, despite this, we decided to go ahead and scale down the expedition. We could not fight against Bove, but had to adjust to the weather and go ashore when Bove allowed us. We called it People Like the Expedition. As pictures will show you, we operated with 100 watts from a single tent, no chairs and no tables, 60 meters of coax, no amplifier, simple antennas, small generator, etc. Our two Electrap K3 radios. Electrap radios were stacked on top of a bucket turned upside down, and we sat on the ground operating. All our wet clothes were dried outdoors on the rocks, and we had very limited heating. We went through a storm of 55 knots, but our tent had no problems with the wind force. The spider poles and the DX engineering antennas also survived the storm without any issues.
Bingo.
A little bit more here. We only took the equipment we needed, 620 kilograms in total, including supplies. All our supplies to the island were via a rope attached to a buoy 100 meters from shore to the beach. All objects were hooked to the line and floated to shore by team members pulling the rope. We named it the Jib. The team members also went ashore in survival suits, hooked to the line and floating to shore. What an experience. On the radio side of things, radio operations pile-up was difficult as our signals were weak. We had good reception. You can imagine the noise floor is probably non-existent there. So they had great reception, and very often we called 3 to 5 times to log a QSO. Many DXers called us, but they couldn't hear us. How frustrating. As we focused on fewer bands to maximize all-time new ones, and looking at the stats, we achieved 19,000 QSOs, and 50% of those were unique call signs. However, there were many duplicates. Many are satisfied, but some are also disappointed by the performance of either the team or the digital QRMers. We had issues with the FT8 due to we did not have any device to sync against, and our clocks were 14 seconds off, which meant we had sometimes were transmitting odd while we thought we were even. Boy, that's weird. I would have never thought about that. As for Bove, there's no guarantee at all, whether you use 2 helicopters or a Zodiac. We could have wanted to make more contacts, but safety was and will always be more important than trying to push our limits in a risky environment. In the coming months, you will be invited to hear more of our stories at conventions and in articles. So there you go.
The indoor temperature is
67. Again, if hopefully you got a chance to work them. If not, I was just happy to hear them. Even though I was on a remotely controlled receiver, I was happy that I was able to copy them and make a recording of it. And so we'll have to wait. It could be years, maybe sooner. If you get a chance, go to DX World, the website DX World. They have a poll. They're taking a poll there as to whether or not you're interested in seeing another Bove Island expedition. I think there's even a place here where you can write a review or write your comments on this latest expedition. So check it out if you've been following it, and take the poll, the Bove Island poll. You can find it at DX World's website. The WPREI, this is the North Central Ohio Information Traffic Net. Anybody else with or without traffic? Call out. Okay, I'm going to move along quick here. Let's see. We talked about Rose Island, another D expedition. Now, just lot of that. You can still find a lot of the programming software online for free, tuning software, that sort of stuff. And so I just thought it might be appropriate just to talk about something about setting those on frequency or adjusting the transmit frequency. I thought I'd mention something about that because I thought it'd be interesting. So if you're a ham that likes to do that sort of thing, you want to test your Motorola radio or any radio for that matter. I'm really not specifically talking about 2 meter and 440 FM radios here this afternoon. One of the things that I've seen happen before, and myself included, I'm kind of guilty of it too. You might want to take your software, your programming software, or doing software, and hook it up to your radio, and you keep your microphone, and you gotta have a accurate piece of test equipment to measure the transmit frequency with. And you look at it and you think, okay, that looks like it is or it is not. This specs. You decide, okay, well, I'm going to adjust the reference oscillator in the radio. REI for identification, just continuing here on our reference oscillator adjustments in older radios, or new radios for that matter, 2 meter, 440 radios. And so you want to make sure you got a service monitor or some accurate piece of test equipment that you're measuring your transmit frequency with, so that you can set it right on the money, right? One of the things that you want to do though is you want to make sure that radio is at room temperature or close to room temperature. And the reason you want to do that is because the radio, if you look at it, I'm looking at a Motorola PM400. I'm just bringing up the spec sheet on the Motorola PM400. And if you want the radio to operate within its specified temperature range, and what I mean by that is if you want it to stay within a certain frequency range over a specified temperature range, you need to make sure that you set the reference oscillator at room temperature, which is about 70 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, I finally found it here. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is a spec sheet for a Motorola PM400 to 440. It's a 440 radio. It's a commercial radio. And I got some software, so I program it in the amateur radio bands. And I wanted to set the frequency, transmit frequency, or the reference oscillator, and make sure that it was set on spec. And so, in the specifications of the manual, it says that the radio will operate plus or minus 2.5 parts per million of its transmit frequency, and it will be stable within a certain temperature range. I don't know if a lot of people realize that or not, but temperature has a lot to do with how the reference oscillator in your radio keeps the transmit frequency on frequency. As the outside temperature or the ambient temperature around that radio changes, the frequency is going to drift. And so in the spec sheet, they give the frequency stability in a temperature range of from minus 30 degrees Celsius to plus 60 degrees Celsius. The radio should stay within plus or minus 2.5 parts per million of its transmitting operating frequency. So, that sounds like a lot of, for anybody that's not familiar with all that rigmarole here, maybe we'll break it down a little bit. That's kind of what this is about, maybe to learn something.
Alpha Golf 8 November.
Off Alpha Golf 8 November. Yeah, go ahead.
Just as you were talking about the FAQ thing, if anyone's interested, there's an article or a station, Delta Lima 4, Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, who talks about using a PC with a sound card as a VLF receiver. Now this is rather ancient stuff, but he's doing it with a program called Spectrum Lab. And like I said, this is back in 2008, and doesn't need anything, he says, to do it except his program. You can find it on the internet if you're interested. A search should do it, and he's got it in the software itself. And I've seen things on the internet about doing it with something like SDR Sharp, but I can't pull that up off the top.
All right, very good. Super cool information. Very, very interesting. I can tell you a little bit about that because I've looked into that a little bit. And the idea of using a sound card to literally connect to your antenna to hear a frequency of, in this case, when we're talking about FAQ, that's the Alexanderson alternator's frequency from Granton, Sweden. They transmit on 17.2 kilohertz. Now, that's really low frequency, right? Matter of fact, 17.2, some people could hear that if you're listening to audio in a speaker. However, this is electromagnetic radiation at 7.2. It's converted into, 17.2 kilohertz voltage or AC sine wave, and your sound card is quite capable of hearing that. And so, thank you for the heads up on that, for mentioning that, DL4YH and I've seen that. He talks about the PC sound card. Just a couple things I'll add to that. A couple things I was going to add to that is that most PC sound cards, I think they'll sample and hear maybe up to maybe 44 kilohertz. Excuse me, that's the sampling rate, and maybe they'll hear up to maybe, I think, maybe 20, I may be saying this wrong, I think it's as high as 24 kilohertz, which means that a lot of the VLF stations that are there that you can hear with a sound card here in North America are higher in frequency than that sound card. However, you can still do it, but you'd have to have another sound card that samples at maybe twice that frequency, and they have them. They're a little more expensive. However, if you were just trying to hear the 17.2 kilohertz Alexanderson alternator, anybody's standard sound card is well within the range of hearing that. And there is nice software to do that. The software actually has to provide a beat frequency oscillator, which is no problem on the sound card, in order for you to actually hear, and then on the software you can see the signal. Now, the only other downside to that, is, I did some research into this, is that here in North America, it's extremely difficult to pick up that signal from Granton, Sweden. Even though the Alexanderson alternator runs at 200 kW, that's what it was rated at when it was built, they only run it, I think they run it at about maybe 80 kW, which sounds like a lot, right? But at that frequency, you get into all kinds of issues as far as, you got to be able to have a really low noise floor, and unfortunately at that frequency, you hear all kinds of noise, and you're talking about really inefficient antennas, because you're talking really, really long wavelengths, so you have to make some special antennas to do that. The try it again. Okay, sounds pretty quiet. I hear that somebody could chuck there, but we don't hear any audio. All right, I think we'll ramp it up here. Thank you guys, everybody that checked in here today. Thanks to Dan, PCPDU for our weather and ISS update. Thanks to Bob for all the info on the special event station and the Hamfest and DE test session. Thanks to Pat for the use of the repeater network. Remind everybody, don't forget, take a look at the contest calendar. South Carolina and North Carolina, both of them this month got their QSO parties coming up. The really cool thing is this weekend, February 18th and 19th, is the American Radio Relay League DX contest. All DX, if you're looking for some new countries, here's a good chance to maybe pick up some new ones and have some fun working the contest. Again, that's this weekend, February 18th and 19th, and you get all the rules at the ARRL's website on the ARRL CWDX contest. And don't forget, coming up February 24th and 26th, that weekend, the following weekend, is the CQ Worldwide 160-meter single sideband contest. So, geez, if you got 160-meter capability, or maybe you just got an antenna tuner that will tune a piece of wire or something, hey, get on 160 meters. They're going to have their worldwide contest the weekend of February 24th and 26th. Check out all those cool special event stations. You can find them at the ARRL's website. Check them out here when Bob lists them for us. And have some fun. They're quick, fast exchanges. You learn a little bit. And you can always end up with some really cool certificates and QSL cards for your Radio Shack. All right, don't forget to tune in WRMI Legends on 5050 kilohertz AM Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They go all the way up until, I think, midnight. All right, that's the end of this net. Everybody go get some lunch, because that's what I'm going to do, too. Don't forget, stay tuned to your Skywarn net. Pay attention to the weather. We could have some severe weather coming up. And get involved with your local Skywarn crew. That's the end of this net. We'll catch you all here again next Wednesday at 10:15 a.m. for the North Central Ohio Information and Traffic Net. With that, WB8 REI and the net are now clear. Lenny, thanks for doing the Facebook Live on the net here. Again, if you all don't get a chance, go take a look at Lenny's Facebook Live page, and you can listen to any of this other information again if you need to, and you can hear your own signal. 73 WB8 REI, we're now clear.
Have a good week, Jeff, and AQQ.
Hey, same to you, Jim. And, yeah, I've been a little bit following the news there on the chemical spill. Man, what a mess, huh? Boy, oh boy, a lot of crazy stuff going on with that. All right, have a good week, Jim. Thanks for checking in. Always good to hear you. NAQQY, WB8REI.
Yeah, all them lawyers get through with that cleanup money Alpha Golf 8 November.
All right,
And
man.
you still around, Mark?
I'm gonna shut this. Talk to you later, man.